I know you guys are probably watching the rest of the stream team video winding down, but let me see if I can not break my neck out here. So, if you've been watching a couple of my last nighttime, not my motion light, my last nighttime videos, I've been having some bearding. So today, before the sting incidents, I went ahead and wanted to see if following Randall Carter's from Carter Hill, I think it's Carter's Hill Honeybees. Houston Shelton recommended I try to do that offset that he does with the boxes, and that it's supposed to, help ventilation and bearding. So let me just show you what I got now. This first time I've been out here since I came at 2:30 this afternoon. So now I've got them offset in the back, and I got bees on the back chilling. So that's where the offset is on the bee boxes. Let's see what it did on the front. Yeah, not much. They're still doing what they got to do there. So I will say I only went up one super. I don't know how many he offsets. Appreciate it, man. I got tore up helping somebody else at their house. Let me explain it to you. So a buddy of mine from high school, his dad kept bees probably he's 10 minutes from me. It's not even that far. But his dad passed away a couple months ago after an illness, and he had not been in those colonies. Last week he did pop the top and add a super to them, but he hadn't been in there. So we were going to do a hive inspection to see how the queen and brood and everything was on it. And well, he had 3 of them, but 2 of them, no problems. I mean, there was a bunch of comb, but we got to this one, and when I took that super off of the colony, I was trying to see if I had a plastic frame laying around, which I think I got one in this box over here. The first time I got one right here actually. First time I've ever seen this. So he had, no bees stings tonight, guys. I've had enough for the day. Let's see if y'all can see that because of the light. But the bottom here, this plastic strip broke off of the frame. It was so waxed down and combed in onto the brood box, it broke the bottom piece of the frame off. And so they were not too enthused about that. They were not happy. And honey, I mean, there was so much honey that was just on top. We were trying to clean it up, and man, they were tearing my legs up, tearing them up. So I'm pretty sure I took over 100 stings on my legs. I dosed up with some Benadryl when I got home. I feel like I'm running a fever. Believe it or not, since they were in my legs, I could really feel my ankles first, right? Started to swell up and hurt. And I could literally kind of feel it going up my body to where it felt like my kidneys started hurting a little bit in my back. And then, it was bad. It was bad. I laid down at 2:30, 3 o'clock after taking Benadryl and missed the starting of the, like 5 hours later, I missed the start of the stream team. But, I caught what I could, but today was not a good day. And, I did it wasn't my bees. I did it helping somebody else out, which, hopefully in the long run, going back in there where they, we're going to go back in and have to split it up. And, I was geared up. I just didn't have, I had my Guardian jacket on, but man, they were stinging pants, ankles, the crotch, anything they could sting. Walk away from the colony, get all the bees off you. And I mean, we were way far away from the colony. I was still getting, they were still attracted. It was terrible. So, but I wasn't a little girl about it. Went ahead and just took the lumps, literally, and got them fixed up. We ended up putting another, he's got so much honey on those colonies right now that, you know, he's probably going to have to harvest that honey out and then give them the frames back to fill up. It's so strong. He's probably going to catch it. He's probably going to have to be catching a swarm out of a tree here soon. But I came out here tonight because, you know, we've been kind of doing the whole bearding thing. So last night, Houston Shelton said, do what Randall at Carter Hill Honeybees does with offsetting the box. So I've got this super slid forward ever so slightly, and it cracks right, there's a crack right there where you can see the frames. Well, you can't see it now, but they started bearding on the backside there. But there's not really big a difference on the front because they're still on the front. So I don't know, maybe I have to watch that video better and see if he's does it a certain amount of spaces or every other box or what he does with that one, and try to get that to see if, I'm just more worried about the heat on them. It's not hot out right now, but you know, it's funny because this colony, they don't cluster real tight like that colony is over there. But you know, we're gonna see. But I mean, they're doing good. I mean, my bees are doing good. I just didn't get all the work I needed to get done out here today because I went to help him, and then after the stings, I honestly didn't feel like it. Sore, fever, the whole 9 yards, and so that was pretty much it. But it's been one of those days. Yeah, I try not to take stings. But he was at his dad's house. Or wait a minute, are all my bottom boards right? The solid bottom board are the only ones that are bearding. Yeah, all of my bottom boards are solid. I've got one bottom board that I've actually taken out, so all of them are solid over here, to try to control hive beetle issues. And it has worked, but those boxes are just slam full. Hey, Brooklyns. Hope you're having a good evening over there at work. My little 2-frame colonies, I need to get them split out. So hopefully the weather holds out tomorrow and I can make those adjustments that I need to make. I've only got 3 of these over here, but you guys may or may not be able to see when I flip this around. Yeah. So I need to get these split out. I got 3. These 3 on the end have bees in them, but I need to get the rest of these split out. And you have vents in your tops. In the tops. I've got, well, see, some of my colonies, and not those colonies, but some of my colonies, I'll walk back over here since it's just us guys hanging out tonight, 8 people watching, and some of them I do have vent shims on the top, and I even have a box over here. Let me see. Nope. Sorry, bee. We're getting out your way. Bee flew hit my phone because of the light on it, I think. So I'm gonna move away from them and try not to get stung one more time this evening. It's a good place to do this. I gotta be walking on my phone right now. So I've got, where's it at? It's trying to get me. Hold on. Damn it. Maybe I just go in the dark and it'll turn around. Maybe it lost me in the dark. I'm hoping. All right, so walk back over here. I just don't want to take another sting today. So I've actually done this in a few of my boxes where I've just drilled a hole in it and put some screen on it, and to give them some ventilation. I haven't done it since I've expanded, so I probably need to go back through and just go ahead and do that some more and try to get Sleepy Creek apiaries. But that's I only have that on a few boxes like that, and because I expanded so quick, I'm sure that there's a bunch of stuff to do, but none of the ones that I have bearding on have that. So that's why I did what Carter, Mr. Carter's doing at Carter Hill Apiaries with the offset box. And but it didn't, I mean, they're still bearding, so I don't know if that's if they're just gonna beard or what. Yeah, Sarah, they will propolize the screen if they're too cold, like in the wintertime. They will propolize that. But you know what? I don't think there's any propolis on these. Maybe a little bit of propolis around the edges or whatever. But they haven't really done it. It's just a couple 3/4 inch holes. I usually put it towards the back, like away from the entrance, so the air can come through the hive, up and out the back. And so that's kind of what I've been doing, but only the bigger colonies, only the big colonies are the ones that are really the ones that got a lot of boxes on them. Yeah, they will propolize it if it's too much air or they can't control the temperature. They'll propolize it, but I haven't had that issue here. And because almost every week, guys, even in the wintertime, we don't have a problem with bees not being able to get out. They're going to get their poopy flights and all that stuff they need, cleansing flights and all that they need to do. And around here. So it's just a matter. I did see on my little 2-frame colonies bee poop on it, which is unusual, especially since they literally just came out of another colony. You won't be able to see this over here because of the way I'm going, but some of the fronts of these 2-frame colonies do have some bee poop on them. And yeah, I won't be able to show you that at night, but the main thing is the bearding. I was just trying to see if maybe the Carter Hill honeybees method might work for them, but you know, it's about the same temperature as last night. And now not only do I have bearding on the back, I've got bearding on, I've got not only bearding on the front, but I've got it on the back too. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. I mean, as long as they're not going to fly off, the bearding doesn't bother me really that much. But at the same time, if that light, if there's a way to control that, you know, I guess I should be happy I've got strong colonies that need to go outside to regulate temperature, right? So that's a good thing. And I also figured out what that white flower was today that I showed y'all last night. Let me show you again. So this white flower, that's jasmine. I did not know that. Smells beautiful, but that's a jasmine bush. Now, why is that important, Bob? That's important because I've been here for a few years, never seen that bush bloom like that. So I'm going to chalk it up to the bees doing their pollination, and I'm going to hope that's what did it. And it could just be that I'm more observant now of trees and flowers than I was before I had bees. So that could be a thing. Could be a thing as well. And so if anybody's around this area wants to help me split some colonies into these mating nukes, come on over. I got Ricky Rourke coming down from Horizontal Bees on Saturday. He's gonna get a couple queens, and maybe I can wrangle him into doing some work with me if he doesn't get stung. But I'm in my thinking chair out here. I'm by the nuke yard, or by the queen yard. Queen half of my yard is what I should say. I went to the orchard last, when did I go? Tuesday. I went Tuesday, and we've got, they're doing good over there. So that was kind of an experiment when I first put them out there to see if there was anything that maybe the strawberry patch was spraying on fields that would have hurt them, but they seem to be doing good right now. So I'm going to I might split out. Well, now my thing is nuke boxes, right? So I need to either graduate my nukes up, my 5-frame, sell nukes. I either need to sell some nukes, move some 5-frame nukes into 10 frames, which I don't know that they're really strong enough yet for that, or split them down into these mate nukes for queens. So at this point, I'm leaning towards splitting them down, and I've got queens that I have to bank, so I need to sell some queens so I can not leave the colonies queenless. The pollen trap's doing the thing. Is it doing good for you? All right, so here's a question for you guys, all you honey producers. What have you guys found to be the case with honey that doesn't crystallize? Because that buddy I helped out today gave me a jar of his honey, and it's like, yeah, for the most part, our honey doesn't crystallize over here, and I don't know why, but mine sometimes does and sometimes doesn't. So I think it's the plant, but I don't know what plants don't crystallize and which do, to be honest with you. They're just, all my honey gets kind of mixed together, and it's wildflower honey, and I haven't done any DNA. The nectar source. All right, so that's kind of the thing. I'll tell you what, Jose was on point getting those queens over here. They came quick. I've got them banked, and it was totally not my intention to bank them. But with these mating nukes, I didn't want to introduce a queen into the mating nuke. That wasn't the goal. My goal was to just do 30 walkaways on these 2-framers, so they could generate queens, and I wouldn't have to be buying any more queens. And as I sell off queens, I'm introducing Jose's queens to the mothership, right, to the mother colony. So that's kind of where I've been going the last couple weeks. And people need queens, and if they call Blythewood Bee Company, guess whose number they give out? Mine. So I've kind of got that from them. So we'll see if they pick up the pace. I really need to sell probably 10 nukes. Yep, pulled out a frame and swapped out one of my new colonies. Yep, that's what I need to do. I need to split them up, and that's pretty much where I'm going to go to these nukes. And I can fill half of these boxes just off of nukes without going into any 10 framers. So it's just timing, right? It's all about the timing. Someone told me, I think even Hillbilly Earl said that his experience has been the darker the honey, the quicker it crystallizes. Right. Yeah, I haven't ever trapped pollen myself. I've had it fall off of their legs, but haven't really harvested any pollen. I don't hear Porky snoring over there today. I went back over there and it's not any worse than it was, so I don't know if it was something that happened in shipping and I just never noticed it. Could have been a raccoon maybe, but a raccoon would just stick its little arm up in there and grab some honey out, I guess, if it wanted to, and bees, whatever it needed. I don't know. I don't really know what it was. I got an ant. I'm on. You inspired me. Hold on. Oh, I missed it. Let me see the message. Sorry. You inspired me to start raising queens. Gonna start grafting and raising queens. Maybe I can ship them to you and you sell them. Do it. The damn shipping wasn't so high. Yeah, see, so I don't know. It's just got to be something with the nectar. And maybe the moisture content. Maybe moisture content. If there's less moisture in it, you think it would crystallize faster than if there was more moisture in it. I mean, because I find it, if you go to the grocery store and there's none of the honey on the shelf is crystallized. So I'm curious. It's a whole nother topic, right? So you go to the store, none of their honey is crystallized. No, that was 14%. Oh, because maybe it's the other way then. Maybe the lower the moisture content, there's nothing in there for it to bond with the crystallized. Maybe that's because it's fake in the store. Yeah, that's probably pretty true as well. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here, guys. I'm alive. I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. They also pasteurize it, heat it up. Magic. So I'm doing all right. I do feel like I'm running a bit of a fever. Ankles and joints are actually, my ankles really swell up. Online there is actually a pollen chart that you can, if you Google pollen colors, there's a store, sorry, I was reading at the same time. There's a chart that you can look at different colors of honey or pollen on there, and it'll kind of give you an idea. Oh, wow. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, my female duck, she got hit by a car the other day, so I'm down to 2. I'm gonna have to replace her, but the new one will be so little that they may not take. Well, they'll take 2 eventually, right? Because she's a female. But the 2 dudes. Now I've got 2 dude ducks running around here somewhere. Where are they? Oh, I actually see them over there. Let me see if I can see them. And thank you for that, by the way. Appreciate that. That's amazing. You guys are helping me out. I might have to go buy more Benadryl with that money. They're right there right now. Right, guys? You chilling? You missing your lady? I know. You guys are 3 peas in a pod. So they're chilling out over here. I think what happened was one of those roosters, that rooster that chases them around all the time, I think chased him out to the road, and she got hit. And yeah, it wasn't good, but it's nature, right? It's nature. What can you do? I mean, if you raise any animals, especially chickens and stuff like that, you're gonna come out one day and there's be a dead chicken, and you have no idea why. Just dead, and you just bury them and move on. And things are going good. I just I've bitten off a lot, so now this is turning into a job, a job. So right now it is true. It's keeping me job, just over broke, and it is what it is, because I keep reinvesting the money in. But I think now, if I can get these two framers going like I want to, and I can make my own queens, then I'll be less dependent on other factors, right? I'm less dependent on having to order queens, because I should be able to come out here and get one out of this colony. If somebody wants to buy one, well, then I'm not making just a profit on money I've already spent. I'm making, well, I hate to say 100% profit, because there's always an expense, time, money into the equipment and stuff like that. But these queens will be my queens, you know. Now, they'll be raised off of Cudic stock and off of Jose Uribe stock, so it should be pretty good. We'll see what happens, you know. See what happens. Worst case scenario, I use these to start nukes. Right now, I plan to graft. I just have to find the time to sit down and do it. With these little two framers, though, the way Barnyard Bees does it is he takes a frame of nurse bees and open brood, open larva. He'll take it out of a colony and drop it in there and let them just make a queen. And you know, a couple weeks later, you come out and you've got a queen in there, and they've got enough room. The thing, here's the trick with it, in my opinion, the trick with these two framers. If I put a queen, okay, so let me show you. I'll flip this around. All right. So let's say I come out to this two framer right here, and I open it up, and I put a queen in there, right? If I put a queen in there with them, she's going to lay it up in no time flat. And then she's not going to have anywhere to go. They're probably going to swarm on me. If I take this box and I put a frame of nurse bees with brood and larva, well, what's going to happen is they're going to draw out an emergency cell, right? And then they're going to hatch a queen. She's going to go out and get mated. She's going to come back. It's going to be a week, at least, after she hatches before she flies out, right? Then she'll fly out and hopefully come back, return mated. So this is more of like a numbers game for me, right? So if I make 30 single frame splits and I get 20 of them back, well, then I got 20 queens, right? And then I can work on it from there. And if not, I can always take these and move them into a nuke, or take the queen, make a nuke, whatever. If I got a bad queen out there, I can replace her. I've got resources, right, that I can go to. But it didn't. If we want to get into beaconomics, guys, this whole expansion that I've done this year was paid for by my bees. And if we're talking beaconomics on it, I didn't use any credit cards. And then fill both split, stack another. Yeah, I could. Well, like I said, I bought 30 of them. And so I've got some to play with, right? I can move them around and do what I need to do. I've got probably 25 frame nukes out there. I still got deeps for days. I still have mediums. So I've got flexibility. But honestly, the best thing I think I did this year, as far as being able to expand, was buying queens in bulk and selling them. And let me explain this. I know when you sell a queen, I'm only making $12 a queen. I can make that much on a bottle of honey, right? Not a problem. But here's the thing. They may go over a 5-framer. I haven't even measured it or checked it out. But okay, so when you buy 25 queens, most queen breeders will give you an extra queen, right? So I was getting 26 for the price of 25. So that lowered the cost overall. But what I was doing was taking that extra queen that I was getting, and I was putting her in a nuke, and then I would sell the nuke. If you know what I mean? So I sold 4 nukes. That was $800. So that more than paid. Hey, thanks, Darko. That more than paid for 25 of my queens, those 4 nukes. So all the queens that I purchased, between what I sold and what I used myself, those nukes paid for them, what I used. So that was free. But I've purchased myself this year for resale, not including Jose's. This is before the Jose shipment came in. I bought 10 for myself at the beginning of the year when I did my initial splits. Then I bought 75 queens from Cutix. Like every couple of days, I was down there getting 25 queens, right? So I bought some on a Wednesday, they all sold out. Went back on a Friday, bought 25 more, and those sold out. Then I bought another 25, and I just sold the last 2 this last week. And then but I've been able to take those and make nukes that I've sold that has paid, it's paid for itself. And been able to take that money and buy mating nukes and buy what I need to do. I am happy. My wife would be happier if I was in there all the time, man. If I didn't come, if I wasn't live all the time, or I wasn't going to do this or do that. But, at this point, this is my livelihood. This is my job, right? She says, why are you outside all the time? It's bee season, right? I got to be in the bees in bee season, or you're going to miss opportunity. So, yeah, I do. The whole reason I'm here is because my mother has Alzheimer's, and we're here all the time. Hey, Brian. So we're here all the time, and the bees, like right now, guys, this going live, that's my escape from the reality of being stuck here all the time with ill mom. And, coming out here, I'm literally, 50 yards from my back door. So this is happy right here. I'm coming out here. I'm in my thinking chair looking at my 2-frame nukes over there. And yeah, we should all be happy. That's for sure. But being able to have a freedom, it doesn't seem like freedom right now. It honestly feels like a job that's, I would hate to say is not, it's returning an investment, but I'm using that investment back into my bees. So, yeah, it's tough. I mean, and my health isn't great, guys. So, between what I need to do and what I have to do, it's a lot of work. Oh, yeah, sure. For sure, Darko. For sure. We can do that. Just hit me up and we'll make it happen. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, well, today was just brutal. The stings today. I did that I didn't take the stings as a favor, but I took the stings as a helping somebody else out. If that were my bees, I told them I would have split them down and demoralized the heck out of them. As many ways as I could have split that colony. But yeah, that was terrible. The So to give you the backstory again is that um, a buddy of mine I went to school with, who's also a veteran, his dad kept bees about 10 minutes from me, right? And his dad passed away maybe 2 months ago. And at any rate, so his dad got sick. He wasn't taking care of the bees, obviously. And my buddy wasn't able to go and take care of the bees, really. And it was, so it's probably been a year since these colonies have been into. Now, with that being said, this past week, he said he went out there and popped the top and just added a super on top of them. So anything in the colony hadn't been opened, hadn't been broken. None of the seals have been broken in like a year. And we went through 2 colonies and they were pretty chill. But this third colony, it was so combed up that the bottom bar on the plastic frame broke off. And it was stuck in the wax with the honey. And there was honey in there. I had to scrape it off. And they just didn't care for us being there at all. To tell you how bad it was, we had a lit smoker. And you know how hot a smoker can get. The bees were attacking the smoker and going in the hole and just suiciding. They were just dying. Landing on a hot smoker, dying. Flying inside of it. He popped it up to add some more fuel to it. They were flying into the smoker. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And, I got to really talk to the guys at Guardian. I don't like the boo-boo companies. I think they're doing an amazing job. They've got a good product. But for as much as that jacket is, I don't feel like 2 months after having it, my veil shouldn't have a hole in it. It shouldn't have a hole in it. And they should have Velcro on the pockets. That's my 2 things. Yeah, they were really spicy. Really, really spicy. You guys saw what I did with my mean colony. My mean colony, it got tore down. It got split. Now, granted, it's not doing very well compared to where it was, but they're not mean like they were either. Yeah, the Velcro. So I'm going to call them. I love the jacket. Don't get me wrong. I like that it's ventilated and all of that. But for that being said, that jacket's $175, I think is what I paid for it. My wife paid for it. I bought one called a Cool Breeze, and I had that one before this one. But the mesh on the veil is better. Now, there's other things that I kind of don't like about it, but the mesh on the veil was better. It's got Velcro on the pockets, and it's $85. So it's like, at some point, it's like, what's the, I guess it's about what you want, right? I mean, I just think that if you're spending $175 on a bee jacket, it needs to last more than a couple of months to get your money's worth out of it, I shouldn't have to call and order a new veil because for some reason the mesh is so thin that it's got a hole in it. And yeah, so I think I'm going to look at that Forest company as well. Guys, you guys are doing great with these comments. And full 3-layer vented. And, I like I said, I like the Guardian jacket. I like the zip down veil. I like all that. But to be honest with you, that zip down veil, I've never unzipped it. I've never unzipped it and let the veil come down. Yeah, I've got the cowboy hat looking one. That's the one I prefer. I do have my other one, the Glory Bee, had the fencing veil on it, which kind of sat down. It's just, I always used to do like Brian. I used to come out here with t-shirts, shorts, and all that. Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying. The other veils are like harder mesh, and I don't feel like it should have a hole in it. You know, I've got cheap. I mean, cheap. You guys have seen the little brown straw one I wear that has the straps under the arm. That thing was like $20, and yes, I've bought 2 of them, but that's just because the yellow or the elastic underneath the little clip comes undone. Hey, Rhonda. So we just been out here trying to. Yeah, I love that thing. You know, I would rather wear that with, you know, jeans. Is very. I don't need a vented jacket as long as I'm not getting stung. But today was like brutal on the stings. You got the Provent. I've got an old Brushy Mountain one that I got from somebody. I've got a few different jackets. The problem, I'll tell you what, one of the biggest problems I have is if you unzip the take the veil off to wash it or wash the jacket, I can never get the damn veil to zip back on, ever. I can't get it. So I'm like, here, give it to my wife and let her try to do it. She can't get it either. So just been, oh really? They're taller? I don't have a, see, here's the problem. I'm 6'2" with a 32-inch inseam. So a 32-inch inseam is like a normal person inseam. But I've got a real long body, so when I bend over, the back always pulls up, and that's where they get me typically. But today, they were all in my legs and pants. Is that my wife? Amy might be my wife. My wife, Amy. Yep, or it might be another Amy. I don't know. With my bad eyes. Yeah, see there? Full jacket is overkill unless you're getting into hot ones. So see, that's the problem with that colony out there today. The first 2 we went into were not very hot. It was that last one that really just really decided it wanted to tear me up. So I just took the lumps like a champ. You know, what are you gonna do? It's like you can't leave the hive open after they start tearing you up. You got to get it back together. And if you're gonna just put it back together, then it was a waste of time. So you might as well go ahead and go all the way through it and just take the stings one time. And you know, instead of going out there and tearing it down again and getting stung 50 more times or whatever. But yeah, he asked me, he's new to beekeeping, right? Because he just ended up getting the colonies. They were just in basically his dad's colonies that he's got to take over. And so he's new to beekeeping. So, you know, I'm going to help him out and see what I can do to, you know, help him as I can. But, you know, I think there's something to be said for regularity. If you're consistently working your colonies, if you're consistently working your colonies, it's not such a big surprise on them, and they don't have as much time to batten down the hatches and lock everything up, right? Like the top frames. I mean, when I say comb together, they were literally, if you look at a dirt video and you open off, you know, you open the side of a wall and you've got this long comb down the inside of the wall. That's kind of how this was. I mean, all of the frames were combed together as you go down. And, you know, that's just, if you're not cleaning that up when you're in there and taking care of them and not in there all the time, well, then to me, when you do go back in there, it's even more invasive than being regular and being consistent, because you can consistently clean that out where they can't build it up and get that hive on lockdown, you know, like that. But, you know, the bees seem to be doing good. Only one colony, the first colony we went into, it was a single deep, and the bottom deep only had honey, and it only had honey and pollen in the bottom, nectar, nectar, honey, pollen. And in the first super had 2 or 3 frames that had a little bit of milk brood on it. And for the number of bees in there, there should have been a lot. I mean, we didn't see any cap brood. So, but we did see, probably, without trying to exaggerate, probably 25 to 30 old queen cells. I mean, when I say old, they weren't the nice little white ones. They were dark brown, much traveled over queen cells that had hatched out. So that thing's been cast in swarms and cast in swarms. So let me see, DC, don't get me wrong, I use mine often. All right. So I don't know if you've ever done a live on a phone. When you comment, it pops up over the video, and then it fades back out. So if I'm missing anybody's comments, I really apologize on that. I'm not trying to avoid anybody or anything like that. It's just, and I don't have my glasses on. Yeah, so yeah, so right now, I'm going to have to go watch Randall Carter's video again, because evidently I did something wrong, or I need to do more, because I did the offset. You can see right there that there's that dark line. That's where the shadow where the box is pulled forward slightly to let the air come out of the back. And that supposedly gives them better ventilation and helps stop bearding and whatnot. But yeah, my bee said, yeah, whatever, old man. We're going to not only beard on the front, but now we're going to beard on the back too. So we'll see. Let's see. Oh, hey, Rick, I'm going to tell you what, buddy. They were stapling my socks to my ankle. I mean, it got to the point, I got 15% battery on my phone, guys. It got to the point, not right then, but, I could feel that burning. And then my ankle started stiffening up. My joints were stiffening up from swelling. And I went inside and took 2 shot, I got liquid Benadryl, the 2 cups. I took 2 of those full, slammed them, and went and laid down and told my wife, if, hey, check on me while I'm sleeping, make sure I didn't stop breathing while I'm asleep or something, That's the most things I've ever taken. I mean, it was brutal, guys. Very brutal. Sarah, good job. 11 5-framers? That's awesome. I like seeing the bees expand and people expanding their business. Because I think most of us start this as a hobby. All right, Brad, thanks, buddy. I think most of us start this as a hobby. And then it turns into an addiction. And then we start thinking of ways we can make money with bees. And, one thing leads to another. And next thing you've got a bunch of colonies, a bunch of queen mate nukes. It's crazy. This year, I mean, I don't even want to calculate the amount of money I've been able to spend this year. But with that being said, you may not see me doing as many lives, because I'm getting to the end of my my bank account right now, so I'm gonna have to start doing a little bit more on the making money side to keep keep my truck. That'd be nice. I'm not behind on anything, so I just won't be able to keep reinvesting what I'm making on the bees back into the bees. Had to split plus the swarm traps. I'm up to 5. Yeah, it's great. Now, here's the thing. You've got the problem is with bees, they do two things really well, right? Make bees and honey. That's what they do. So it's like, if you don't box them up, right, or split them, you're gonna be catching them or letting them go. Yeah, that's the thing. So, knock on wood, I've only had that one little nuke swarm this year so far, and that's why I'm so concerned with this bearding. And for me, if there's too many bees in there, then, maybe I need to split them. You know, I mean, it's obviously a great queen if they're that prolific. Go ahead and split some frames of eggs out and put them over here in the nuke mating yard, or the queen yard, and let them build up. So that's kind of the things that I'm constantly thinking about. And on top of that, I've got to do something with Jose's queens. So if you're in my area and need some queens, come on by and we'll work something out. And yeah, I might do that. I might come out here and oh, hold on, David. I saw David's comment on there. Popped one way. Hold on, David. I was trying to read when it came in. I had a bunch come in. Yeah, that's the thing. They really, those nukes that were sitting there that had been out back that people didn't come pick up, they really took off. I mean, that tall colony that's bearding was a nuke a month ago, a little over a month ago now, probably a month and a half maybe, but it's putting in the work for sure. And then I've got some smaller ones. So, it's like anything. You're going to have strong and weak and strong and weak. So now I got to equalize and make sure everything's going good. Well, people joke I'm on here all the time and live, but, right now you guys are kind of my friends, we just hanging out. This is just friends hanging out, talking bees, that's I don't hide anything. If I get stung a million times, I get stung a million times. If I just try to stay me, right? That's it. As I showed last night, got the same problem with the bearding. Yep. I'll definitely, well, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to equalize out of that colony because it's so strong. I'll pull frames of brood and put it into some of my weaker colonies and make my weaker colonies stronger, and at the same time decrease the population in there. Try to help them just regulate a little bit help my other colonies regulate. That's what needs to happen. But yeah, it's always something, guys. Always something we're going to try to go through. Yeah, my carnies are blowing it up right now. But some of my best colonies are the queens that I raised myself. I hear Porky over here. I don't know what she's doing. Porky! What are you doing? My pig, my pig snores. It's funny. My Italians are doing pretty good too, but the nukes that I overwintered, they're doing pretty well. Now keep in mind, here's the difference between the nukes I just bought and the nukes and colonies I had. The nukes I just bought, I've never split. The colonies and nukes that I had here did get split. So they really started, they started out kind of rough with my splits because I did those early splits and weakened them. Then I had to let them regenerate some brood and stuff so I could split them off to try it around 2, right? Try a round 2 on it. And now it's kind of dark over here, but that colony right here with the box sitting on top of it, this first one, that was one of my overwintered nukes, and it's bearding like crazy. That other one over there with the red box, that was overwintered. It's bearding like crazy. That middle one that's a little bit shorter is actually my queen bank. This one right here, I took a bunch of splits off, but it's doing all right, you know. That was my Demaray. It's doing all right. I've got this other Demaray. It's killing it. That's not as strong as that second hive, but the second hive actually started moving up and drawing out. This one's the one that had 9 frames of brood that they were all staying in the, yeah, I'm feeling better, dry cut for sure. Legs still hurt, but other than fine. This one here is the Demaray colony. It's got a lot of bees in it, but they wouldn't come out of the brood box that's now on top. So when I moved the queen to the bottom with the 1 frame, they started drawing that out. She started laying, and so right now I've removed, let me see if I can show you better when I come around this side. So this one had a plastic excluder in it. I took the excluder out altogether. And, oh, actually, I'm sorry. This one had a plastic excluder in it. This one had a metal excluder in it. I went ahead and took the excluder off of this tall colony and put the metal excluder on this colony, and I got the plastic excluder over there now. So this colony doesn't have an excluder on it anymore. But it is just blowing up, and this one is doing really good. It had last week it had 8, well, it's still got about 8 frames worth of cap, you know, it's got 8 frames that have some sort of cap brood on it, and on the bottom they've got about 4 or 5 with brood on them. And oh yeah, well, the good thing was most of them were stinging me through the pants, you know, through the legs, in through my socks, but it was kind of you know, you could definitely feel it. They were definitely trying to sting the hell out of me, and I didn't take the GoPro over there because honestly I wasn't planning to be there but a few minutes. You know, how long does it take to go through 3 colonies real quick, see what they got going on, and give them a plan? And it ended up taking longer because of that hot hive and just the nature of what happened. This is the same cigarette, by the way. It went out, me just talking and holding. So I know y'all think, damn, Bob smokes a lot, but it's the same cigarette. I call them bitches when they sting me. Yeah, I didn't feel bad about crushing the bees when they were on my pant leg. I did not feel bad about rolling them. No, I didn't put any coins under the migratory lids just because the hive beetles in this area. If you leave too many cracks and crevices, you'll get overwhelmed. I could try it though. I mean, I did see 1 hive beetle in one of those colonies today, which 1 hive beetle with all them bees doesn't stand a chance. I wish I would have taken the GoPro to my friend's house today because I saw something really interesting. You guys ever seen those, I guess they call them hummingbird moths? Have you ever seen that? It's like a black moth with white dots on it, but it looks like a hummingbird. And it landed on an inner cover that I had been scraping the honey off of those broken frames, right? And was scooping the honey off, and a hummingbird moth landed there and started. Darko, I've got a Hero. I've got the Max, the GoPro Max, and I've got a GoPro 5, Hero 5, old one and then a new one. and that hummingbird moth landed on the inner cover to suck up some of that honey. The bees weren't having it. They took her out. they took her out. That hummingbird moth didn't stand a chance. They balled her like nobody's business. And that's what I'm saying. Here, I could have an open feeder. It'll have yellow jackets, carpenter bees. It'll have everything on it. And and they don't care. But this colony, I mean, flying into a lit smoker, who does that? What bee flies in the hole of a lit smoker? Or, you know, attacking a lit smoker and just dying as soon as they hit it from the heat. It was crazy. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And but that's what happened today. I should have taken the GoPros. I would have been standing there getting stung to hell, but I'd have been like, look at that, that's crazy. Look at that, that's crazy. Yeah, oh, for sure. It was a hot one. And so it made me want to come home and order a full suit. As hot as it is here, I thought about getting a full suit, you know, and everything. It was insane. And we were both out there, and he was getting zapped. I was getting zapped. I mean, I took it worse because I was right at the I was working the colony, right? And it was insane. But I mean, they were not having it today, guys. Anyway, this little short live I was gonna do has now been going an hour and 2 minutes. Hour and 2 minutes, and I appreciate the super chats for sure. I watched a beekeeper in Jamaica, seen hot now, at least on video. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, when they get bigger, they get meaner. I'm starting to realize that the bigger these colonies get and the stronger they get, the more protective and mean they are. Yeah, maybe I might go out there next week, because I told him to give him a week and go back in them to check. He's probably going to have to pull. He's only got a few colonies. He doesn't have that many supers. And right now he's got about 4 or 5 supers on each one of these colonies. And they are he's running out of space. I mean, he had drawn comb, so they're not having to work to draw comb up. So he said that's the most boxes he's ever had on those colonies. And he needs, so we might have to, as we say in the South, sling some honey out. Might have to sling some honey out to give him the stuff to get back on there. Yeah, Sarah, they were just stinging me right through the pants. Not even going up my pant leg, just stinging right through it. They didn't care. And I was even wearing light color clothes today. I was wearing a white t-shirt like Cayman. and hey, good night, Dry Cut. And well, I think, hey, I wonder if cats, if you leave them alone long enough, do they just turn feral? You know, pigs just turn feral. I think these bees turned feral because they were bad. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna hop off here now and go take another shot of Benadryl and try to get my legs from stop hurting. And I appreciate every one of you guys, and you know, we'll see you on the next stream. Later.